Hey guys, welcome back to the Think About It podcast. I'm Nisi. I am so excited to have a safe space to speak our truth or to find it. So come on in for however long I have you here or however long I have your ear. Now let's think about it.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal.
Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Think About It podcast with your girl Nisi. We are back. Welcome back to another week to think about it, to talk about it, to be about it, okay? Because if you want to talk about it and think about it and not be about it, because you really not about it, okay? Let that sink in. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Think About It podcast. Like I said, with your girl Nisi. I hope everybody's doing well, doing amazing, doing great. How's everybody doing? Everybody's good, y'all. I hope everybody's doing good. I am doing great, y'all. Another week of the microphoning. I am happy. Okay, this is like this keeps me where I need to be and puts me where I need to be. If I ain't there, by the time as I get here, I'm good. I promise y'all. I love it. I'm here for it. Like I said, I hope you guys had a great week. If you didn't, I pray that you guys have an amazing upcoming week. And let's just pray about it, y'all. Pray about it. Pray about the good days and the bad days. Hello? Don't just pray about the bad days, okay? Okay, because quite frankly, in the good days, it's good to see all the sun and all that good stuff, okay? The bad days, though, the bad days be bad. So you pray in your good days. So when it's time for your bad days, you ain't got to get back to praying because you've been praying in your good. Listen, don't let me start preaching up in here. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead, y'all, and just jump into it. Let's talk about my week this week, y'all. Cheers. If y'all already know, if y'all don't have a glass of wine, a glass of liquor, a glass of Kool-Aid, a glass of apple juice, a glass of whatever y'all have, and make sure y'all have something in y'all hand, okay? Let's just go ahead before we get into the week, y'all, and cheers to y'all. Let's cheers to y'all, okay? Let's cheers to you, okay? You came through another week, okay? You did it anyway, okay? Even though you didn't want it to, when them kids was getting on your damn nerve this entire motherfucking week, okay, that nigga been pissing you the fuck off all week. Like, nigga, don't play with me. Like, when I call, answer the phone, right? Like, don't wait for the 4th and 5th ring. What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Your mama been nagging you like, oh, what the kids. Then if you worry about the kids, come pick the kids up. It's been a week, okay? You know what I'm saying? It's still early in the week, so we still got bills to pay. Okay, if you ain't got a car, no, you got mortgage. If you ain't got mortgage, you got rent. If you ain't got rent, you got a light. If you ain't got light, you got at least your phone bill. Okay, and we ain't gonna add the kids bullshit on top of it. Okay, especially if you a single mama, you got a worthless ass baby daddy, so it's all this shit on you. But guess what? Here's the crazy part about it. The crazy part about it is, we still here. You still here, sis. You still fucking here. Okay, it's about to be Friday. You still showed up on the job even though you didn't want to. You wanted to cuss that bitch out. You know you wanted to cuss that girl out because she gets on your nerve. You can't stand that bitch. She act like she the boss and she really not the boss. This bitch ain't getting no promotions. You feel me? She ain't getting no promotion, but she come to work and act like she the boss because she don't get no boss around at her house. Them kids be moving her ass around. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I know, I get it, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, let's just go ahead and cheers to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. Okay. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I honestly had a very, very good week this week. Yesterday, me and my daughter actually went to watch Creed 3. Y'all, it was so freaking good. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah, so we went to watch Creed 3 last night. It was so good. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but when I'm going to like a concert or a comedy show or watching a new movie, whatever it is, where it's either a new release or upcoming show, I always go back into like the older shows or the music, but to kind of get myself prepared and ready. You know what I'm saying? So I went back and I watched Creed 1. I watched half of Creed 1 because I already kind of remember a lot of the Creed 1. I didn't remember. I don't even honestly think I watched Creed 2. So I had to watch Creed 2. I think I watched it day before yesterday. So good. It got me like so ready for Creed 3. It literally got me so ready. So I don't know if you guys do that, but if y'all kind of like, you know, y'all want to watch Creed 3, but y'all like, you know what, I can probably wait until. No, if you watch Creed 2, go and watch Creed 2 like tonight. Watch Creed 2 tonight, literally tonight. And if it don't give you that urge to be like, I gotta go see this shit, then y'all can just go ahead and wait for, you know, for it to be released on them little bootleg websites or whatever. Y'all know it's probably already released, but I ain't gonna lie, I be watching some of them sometimes, but I need to, especially like movies that I actually want to see and I love, like Creed. I need to see clearance. I need to see it clear. I need to see crisp. I need to see, you know, I need to see the color. I need to see everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Don't brush past nothing. Don't edit shit out. Don't do none of that. I don't want to see nothing. I don't know if y'all remember back in the days. I'm sure y'all do. Like, oh my God, listen. My family, we was the queen of bootleg videos. We probably have all Armadillo. All Armadillo movies and her shows, honey, was on bootleg. Not gonna hold you. Not gonna lie to you. And I watched it and I replayed that shit over and over and over and over and over again, period. And I'm not gonna hold you. Like, after I got done watching on bootleg, it ain't nothing to me said, okay, I'm finna go watch it in the theater. I didn't watch it. So, like, I didn't watch it and it was good. And I'm gonna still tell you what happened. Now, with certain pieces where people be talking about it, I'm like, oh shit, that must have, somebody was probably walking by the screen around that time, or a baby was crying or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Or he had to put the camera down and come back to it, so I didn't miss that part. But y'all, those were the days, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Listen, we were bootleg central. Okay? But yeah, I definitely watched Creed. If you guys didn't watch it, make sure you go ahead and do. If you were like a boxing person too, like I love boxing. Like my grandfather was a boxer. Yes. He actually met Muhammad Ali. Child, I think it was even before I was born, but I love boxing. I love like watching. I used to love like kind of just watching like my granddad just kind of like boxing, like bounce around the house, and you know, I just love it. I love boxing. I can watch literally. I would sit there, focus. I'm talking like my eye would not move during a fight. So it was super good to watch. I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but there were certain things in there. If you guys watch Creed 2, listen, honey, if you ain't watch Creed 2 at this point, you need to go all the way back to Creed 1. Ain't no point in you coming in there, Creed 3, and you don't even know what the fuck going on. Because there's a lot of things in Creed 3 that happened in Creed 1 and Creed 2, especially Creed 2. Because one part of it was, if you watch Creed 2, you know his daughter, when she was born, there was a possibility of her being deaf. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but it was just certain parts inside of it when I seen Creed 3, and I'm like, oh, you know. So like I said, you guys, make sure you go ahead and check it out. Next on the list was of course, Jim. Jim is always my life. Jim is life, period. I love Jim. I came to the realization that, listen, it's beyond like me going to the gym for like my booty, or you know, for me to tune or get that perfect body that I want. It's beyond that. It's always been. I think when I first started the gym, I said this in podcasts prior, that I started the gym to learn how to be consistent in something. Right now, the gym is just like a part of like my relax zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let me tell you, it ain't like I'm going to the gym and I'm just like, 1, 2, 3, that's a good set. All right, let's do something else. No, honey, I'm in the gym like lifting like a real bodybuilder, okay? Like a sumo wrestler. Like I really be lifting for real. But I've learned, like I said, I don't even think of it as work. Now, the thing is, and I don't think of it as work in a sense because I know the result from it. I'm not gonna hold you. I think I've mastered how to build an ass. How to build a booty? Oh, I mastered that, baby. Oh, I mastered that motherfucker. I did. And I have times and days like, you know, where you know, I have like my lazy moments, and I hate that. I don't like it, but I have like my lazy moments where I'll miss like 3 days out of the gym or 4 days out of the gym, and I can tell like my butt has like my hamstring or something is lower than it needs to be. But I can go back in the gym literally that same day and do a few workouts and get that sucker right where it needs to be. But now I'm at a point, like I said, where I'm trying to learn how to incorporate it. When I say literally like how I wake up and brush, I say my prayers and brush my teeth, gym need to be on that list. I don't, it's nothing that should budge me from not going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty consistent, but I have those days, y'all, where I do slack off. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And I said that to say, like, when I was in the gym yesterday, child, I was in the gym, y'all, for 3 hours yesterday. 3 hours yesterday. Now, with that being said, my last probably 30 minutes or so, I wasn't working out, so I'll say 2.5 hours I was in the gym consistently working out. But whilst I was in there, I was on cables, and I was coming off a cable going on to the Smith machine. I was just kind of setting my bars up and stuff, and this lady was kind of like next to me, and when I tell y'all, literally, like, I have this sense of not giving up about people and what they're like, how they're looking at me. I don't care about that thing. Like, I don't care about that. Like, when I'm in the gym, I'm in the gym. You understand me? Like, I'm in the gym. I don't care about my faces. I don't care about how, my butt squeeze, because, that butt squeeze be ugly. I don't care. That don't matter to me, okay? Send me outside this mother. You know what I'm saying? So, I was so focused, y'all, working on myself that when the lady was, like, on the Smith machine as well, and she said something at first. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't hear it. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, she probably just need help, or she's probably just trying to give me a compliment. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, she's probably just trying to give me a compliment. So I was about to be like, oh, thank you, and just kind of went on about my day. But I actually, like, I don't know, within that second, I feel like those are the minutes, like, those little instances where God be. Because it's like, something told me, like, no, listen to her. Like, no, listen to her, So I pulled my earphone out, and she was like, oh my God. She was like, I've been in the gym since since August. She was like, I feel like I'm losing more than I'm gaining anything. She was like, I don't feel anything when I leave the gym. She's like, I feel more depressed, honestly, when I come out of the gym. She's like, because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And it was like, I hear like this, like, she's like over it. Like, she's speaking, but it was like her, I don't know if the word is mannerisms, but she was just over it. It's just like, she was talking, it's like, it's like she's over, but she wanted. It's like, I'm so tired. Like, I don't know what else to do, but it's like, I want to get this. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense. But I think I said in my introduction or in my first episode that, my job for almost 18 years has been in the restaurant field, whether bartending, a waitress or whatever, a form of serving. And I've learned that, I can't believe I'm smiling about this because I hated the word server. I hated saying it. I love to serve. I love serving. I love helping. I love bringing out the best in somebody. I love pouring into somebody. I don't know, but I loved it. So the minute she said that, I was like, I just went into like, okay, calm down. I got you, And I just started asking like certain questions, like, like, well, let's focus out of the gym, but what is your food intake? I'm like, well, first of all, what do you want to do? Are you trying to gain, or are you trying to lose? And if you're speaking about losing and you don't like that, that's clearly you're not trying to do that. It's defeating what you're trying to do, right? So, she's like, I'm trying to gain. She's like, I want to be like that, trying to, like, pointing at me. And I'm like, in my head, like, girl, this stomach needs work. But I get what she was trying to say, or whatever. But, I was like, okay. So she was like, I was like, well, when she said, I was like, well, if you're trying, I said, so you're trying to build, So she's like, yeah, I'm trying to build. So I kind of broke it down as far as like her food intake and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And I got into, the workouts and of course your formations as well. Because a lot of times too, I've learned that if you could go in the gym, honey, 7 days a week, doing squats. And if you're not forming right, you doing 7 days of wasting your time. Is what you're doing. You're not doing 7 days of squats correctly. You're doing 7 days of just squats and fully just wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? And I think again, we have to learn how to get there. But I felt like it was important for me to pour into her and let her know, like, first off, be proud of yourself. You've been here from August and you're still showing up. Okay, so you clearly have the will to want to. You already got it, mama. All you need now is just a routine. That's it. Like, so I was like, I got you. We gonna play it out. We gonna get you where you need to be. So it's like certain things, and forming is so sometimes hard to, especially when you're first doing it. You always kind of feel like this don't feel right, right? And if it don't feel right, probably it ain't right, or probably you just need to do it again until you kind of get used to it. Because certain formations, even up to today, y'all, I'm like, bro, this feels weird. But after I'm done, or during my workout, I'm like, okay, it feels weird, but I can feel that shit, So it was certain things, like I think I taught her like at least four workouts. You know what I mean? Like she don't have a problem with her core area, but I think I knew she wanted a booty. I'm not gonna lie, she wants a booty, So I'm like, okay, let's give you 4 good workouts. And I'm like the person, I'm not gonna give you like shitty ass workouts or something that I don't do every single day to make sure my shit right. So I was, like I said, giving her some workouts. And the first one, at first it was like, okay, she kind of getting the hang of it, and she's asking questions, she's like taking notes. I love that. Like, don't just ask a question just to ask it. Like, she was taking down notes, she was like recording. And then by the time as I got to the cable machine with her, and kind of showing her how to like form her legs and her back and all that stuff, and then how to extend, it was something that kicked, like, just woken up in her. She's like, oh wait, so she was like, I need to record this. And it was like, I was like, okay, well, where your phone at? And she left her phone, y'all, in a whole different area. She's like, I left my whole life behind. She was like, it's all the way over there. I was like, okay, don't worry about it. I said, keep doing that, working on your phone, I'll go get your phone. So I went and I got her phone for her, and I just recorded her. And I definitely, how we are, we're female, so especially when you're doing kickbacks, and your butt kind of like your hamstring kind of form under your quad, where your butt kind of gives like this like little juice, like you can see that little booty, like the thing little pop, So I made sure I got the little angle for her so she could actually see, if she continues to do it that way, that you're going to see that peach, So I recorded her. She was like, oh my God. She was like, I need to pay you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it was just so sweet. And then it was so crazy because I was like, I have to, talking to her, I was like, I have to show you one more workout. So I went over to the hip adductions with her. And she was like, see, well, this is where I started. I started off with the hip adductions. So I was like, okay, so that means you when you said you started, it means you stopped it. So she goes, yeah, I stopped because I started with it. And and it was so crazy because even in that moment, I felt like it was a life lesson to me, because even though, sometimes people feel like, well, I did that. You didn't do it the right way, number one, and you didn't master it. So how do you go to something else, if that makes sense, right? So I broke it down to her, and I said, okay, well, first off, I still do this every single day, and I'm the highest on the hip abductions is 260 on that machine, and that's basically the limit for that weight. And I'm 260 lifting when I go in and I'm doing glutes. Even if I'm not doing glutes, I always use the hip adductions. Why is it so hard for me to say hip abductions? And I'm saying it right now when I say it fast, but when I'm thinking about it, I can't say hip abductions. Anyway, so yes, I do the hip abductions every single day, or every time I go into the gym. And like I said, I'm using my full 260. But again, my formation, and the reason why I do it every single day, because every time I go to the gym, is because I know that it works, right? But if you're not forming your body on there the right way, you'll never get the 260 to talk about mastering the machine, right? So I put her right back on that machine, and I didn't push her to 100. I didn't push her to 70. I said, let's start her with 40. Sometimes we feel like we have to start up like with this big goal or this. No, let's start with the minute things, okay? So I started off with 40, and I showed her like how to position her back again, and to position her body in there, and how far to sit on, to back on the seat and all that stuff. And when she did her first one, she was like, oh my God. She was like, it was like something just broke off in her. She was like, I feel it. She's like, I feel it here. I feel it here. It was so like exciting, honestly, y'all, for me to even witness it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And she didn't even ask me to record that part. I was like, let me record this for you. Like, I just felt so excited, y'all, about helping. So I don't know why I brought it up, but I just feel like I've learned that the things that we be trying to keep from our, or we feel like it's precious to us, and once we start to get that thing back, I don't know. I don't know, but that was my gym week, y'all. And then, y'all, we gonna go ahead and jump into the wind down Wednesday. Y'all know that's gonna be my thing. Every freaking Wednesday, once Mary is on, I am watching Wind Down with Mary J. Blige. Y'all, I'm gonna talk for a minute. Let me take a sip. I love Wind Down with Mary J. Her topics, I'm sure, like, you know, people that she's probably talking to or having those conversations with is people that she clearly know or had some type of interactions with throughout her career period. Entertainment, same thing, whatever. So yeah, I think honestly, you guys, love and I live for Wind Down with Mary J. Blige. If you guys did see it, you know that 50 Cent, or if you didn't see it, 50 Cent was her co-host today, or her host. And I felt like, I'm not gonna lie to you, at first I'm like, oh, 50. Because y'all know 50 is a troller. Like, he is a troll. He's the king of trolls, okay? He's the troll of all trolls. He's gonna troll you, and he's P-E to the T-T-Y. That man is petty, okay? So let's just go ahead, y'all, and get into some topics or pointers from last week. From this episode. So 50 Cent, when he spoke about, well, first off, I love his soft side, okay? And I think a lot of times, because we're so known for him being a troller and him being so freaking petty, and, you know, if you grew up in, if you were 90s baby, you know, early 2000s, you know, you heard about him being shy, you heard, you know, bottles in the club, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was more like, he a hood boy, you know? So to see that, and you know, of course, you know about him being shot 9 times and all this stuff, you think about hood stuff. You know, you're not thinking about sweet, soft, nice. No, you know what I'm saying? You know stuff about his son and all that stuff, and you don't think about, his older son. You don't think about, like, the soft side. But I love his soft side. He do have a soft side. He is such an alpha man. That is just like, listen, I feel like when you hear stuff about 50 in the media or whatever, because you really don't see a lot of shit about, you don't see him, then you hear about the shit that he does, I feel like. But I feel like I can see, like, he gives me, like, manly man. He gives me protector. He gives me, like, you know what I'm saying, don't play with it, because, bitch, this is gonna be the first and last time you play. He do give me that. But I feel like he gives me alpha male as well. But he also have, like, his soft side, like, and he's aware of that. You know what I mean? Of course, like, you know, they're older as well. But, you know, sometimes men rarely gets to see that. You know what I'm saying? I think he got to a place of himself where he was comfortable enough to, you know, sit with himself. And deal with those things, because he do have a soft side. He's very aware. He's so aware of his side, you know. So I love that about him being a troll and petty. When you think of somebody being petty and a troll all the time, you're not connecting troll and petty with smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you too focused on being petty to even understand some shit. I don't know if that making sense, but y'all get it. If you get it, you get it. Those who get it, you know. So when I listened to him kind of spoke about, you know, the entertainment world, you know, whether rap or, you know, being in the movie scene or whatever, it was so, like, and then just his plan for it all. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? He's so smart. And I think a lot of times too, when you come from, like, a street background, I don't care. I feel like, bro, you got more fucking, and if you use it right, you're ahead of the ones that's just book smart. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's one thing to come from the street and learn the books. I rarely hear people go from books to learn the street. You know what I'm saying? So I personally, I lived for that. And then he is talk about humorous. He's so funny, okay? When Mary said something about, when Mary was like, what do you rate your sex, or something like that, and he was like, I say it's a 10. You know, like how he said it, his whole hand movement, and he was so funny to me. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was still like manly man, but still like hilarious, like still jokey. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't take himself too serious. You know, what cracked me up, y'all, was when Mary was basically saying like, you know, is anything off limits? You know what I'm saying? And he like, nah. You know, he said, he's like, I'm gonna go to your page. You know what I'm saying? You bum. Like, I'm still a work in progress because with certain shit, like when 50 said, like I said, when he was talking about, you know, some people saying shit or talking about him, or, you know, you want to say shit and I can say shit back. I'm like, yeah, what you talking about? And then I had moments when he spoke about love, y'all, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I went back into like this soft girl, like, moment. Because when Mary asked, what's your first love experience, right? If y'all remember that. If y'all didn't watch it, y'all make sure y'all please go watch it. But when she said, you know, what's your first love experience? And he said, he was like, you know, he was like, you know, when he's in a friendship with somebody, or of course a female, and he finds gratification in in seeing her happy, is when he knows that he's in love. I'm like, that was so sweet. And I think too is, for me, I didn't expect to hear that from 50. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear it, and it was so like, it felt so authentic too. Like, you know, like when when you're friends with somebody and you naturally see a person light up, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want. I want a man to just see me like just naturally like, yo, when this shit, she is so like a fucking character, I know she's happy, bro. Like I know she happy, and this shit makes me, I want that. I live for that. Like I live for that. Like I went from like when I first heard like 50 was gonna be, I'm like, oh God, here we go to big head. And then I think another thing what I love was, you can tell the love he has for his grandmother. His love for his grandmother is so real, you know, and I think it touched me so much because, again, if you watch or listen to my podcast, my grandmother is my monarchy. You know, of course we have God, his son Christ Jesus, and then there's my grandma. There she is. That is my lady. And then he said something about, you know, like when people would come and, you know, tell him things about, he tell his grandma things about him. Grandma would be like, not my baby. Like, no, I know it ain't my baby, not my Curtis. Like, he wouldn't do that, you know. And it just reminded me so much of of my grandma, and just her love that, you know what I'm saying, like her protection, and you know, and she didn't. I think that the beauty in it is, you know, with grandparents, they don't have to do it. So the ones that actually truly love you down, and you have that feeling of a mother, you know, that feeling of a mother, it warms your heart. It truly warms your heart. It was times like when he spoke about his grandma, I'm like, yo, I can't watch this no more, because I get to think about my grandmother, and it's like I can feel, you know, when he says, or when he speaks about that woman, and you know, he thinks of her highly, and he cares for her highly, you know, and that is probably the one thing that you can probably lose your life over. Even a mature grown 50 will probably take it there for his grandma. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I feel like I'm the same way. So yeah, that was my week, y'all. That was I guess my point is from the Mary J. Wind Down. I love, like I said, you guys, I love Wind Down with Mary J. If you guys do not watch it, y'all, make sure you do. It is on every Wednesday on BET. It's called Wind Down with Mary J. Blige. Comes on at 10 p.m. every Wednesday, okay? So you guys, let's go ahead and get into the topic. I know we've been talking for a long time, long-winded. You already know that, though. Y'all should know that by now, okay? We on episode 10. We're excited a little bit. I'll be excited when I reach to like 50 and 100. And I think I said this before. I have to learn. I really and truly have to learn how to celebrate all my wins. I showed up for myself. I made it to episode 10. I brought my microphones, even though it was situations and trials where it's like, don't do it, I still did it. We still here. We are at episode 10. Okay, that's a stepping stone. That's a good accomplishment. But baby, see us at episode 100, period. So let's go ahead and get into the topic of the day. Topic of the day, you guys, is my mark. I don't want to miss my mark. Topic of the day. I don't want to miss my mark. So I watched. I said this last week. I watched the Angie Martinez pod um, with Lauren London some time ago. And first off, the interview informative, okay? Very informative, very juicy. But something that stood out to me was when she mentioned about missing her mark and how she don't want to miss it, how she do not want to, miss her mark. And it was something that, like I said, y'all, that just kept, laid dormant on me, because I feel like in life, it is actually so easy to miss your mark. It is so easy to miss your mark, right? Especially when you add on your family's traumas, you add on your traumas as an adult, you add on, having kids and, having bills and, just figuring out life that we live every single day. It can be hard, it can be very easy to miss your mark, right? And I think the reason why I'm so intentional on myself and what I produce and how I give what I give into the world is because I had to realize that when you're talking about finding your mark and not missing it, that you're talking about serious business. You're talking about a possibility of breaking generational patterns and not just breaking generational patterns. You're talking about finding your purpose and not finding your purpose. You're talking about possibly pouring into your child and not pouring into your child. You get what I'm saying? You're talking about making a change for yourself and not possibly making a change for yourself. And I want to be on this side of the spectrum, right? I think too, when you live a life consistently the same, you realize that, okay, this is the hamster wheel that I'm on. This is what I'm going to get if I continue on this hamster wheel. A hamster wheel, you don't change and jump onto another hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? The hamster wheel just goes like this. Just goes like this, right? You stay right in that circle. And what you get is what you get, and what you get is typically what you know, because you've been on the cycle for so long. And I got to a point, y'all, where I jumped off that shit. Okay, I jumped the freak off. I don't even like to run like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? Get me off of this shit. What are we doing here? And to kind of, I guess, bring this together, and y'all, if y'all don't know, I don't do a lot of research weeks ahead of time or day before my time. I do a lot of stuff like in the moment because I want it to be authentic. And that's another reason why you don't, some of my words are off or whatever, because it's so in the moment. But I was putting up research as I was doing my hair, and I was talking about, skydiving, because when you talk about a mark or missing your mark, the first thing I think of is, when you're skydiving and having to have a landing mark, right? You need a landing mark to jump out of the plane. You need to know where the hell you're going in order to jump out of the plane. And they spoke about like little things that stood out to me when skydiving, right? So first thing was, when you're about to skydive, or you're doing this, you have a reserve kit, right? Your reserve kit is in that backpack, right? Or that, I think it's called a backpack, don't quote me. That is just for what ifs, right? What if something goes wrong, right? So if something goes wrong, you have from the main pocket or the main kit, you have that reserve now for your backup. And when it comes down to our life, a lot of times we miss our mark because we don't even have enough information or life lessons or journey, right? To hit that mark. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times we have so much of the bad shit, right? That's not going to take us where we need to go. But the good shit that we need to make sure that we get to that mark, we don't have it, right? So what I'm saying is we have a lot of our past traumas and a lot of things, the way that we show up, the way that our mother showed up, right? And we're allowing it to have a voice and a control over us today, and we're expecting this form of us to find out, to get to that mark. You don't even have enough in your, not your reserve kit, but your main kit, right? You ain't even start working on yourself yet, right? And I think about the part about, going on the self journey and, finding your purpose and not missing your mark and finding God and all that stuff, all that kind of ties into one. So when you learn your self-worth, when you learn your self-love, when you learn who God is, when you learn your connection to him, when you learn, the reason why your family bullshit is not your bullshit today, when you learn the reason why you're treating your kid the way you're treating your kid it has a lot to do with the shit that your mother did, and we need to change that. When you learn these things and you start to be intentional about these things, you built up and you put those things in that main kit, right? You started taking out the shit that you didn't need and started filling that main kit up with things that you do need, right? And then you get to a point when you're being intentional about yourself and being intentional about finding the mark, where now God gives you so much information to the point where it's like things that you go through or you do, but it's like, okay, well, what I'm gonna do with that? I don't even need that information. You know what I'm saying? Patience. I was just trying to find my mark. What patience got to do with this? Okay, I'm gonna learn it, put it inside there, drop it in there, okay? And then once you started to land, you didn't even realize, oh, okay, but damn, I needed that because this is what this is for, and that is what that's for, right? So I said that to say, you guys, like, a lot of times, my first point is we miss our mark, and it's sometimes so hard for us to find our mark because a lot of the shit that we have holding us back. Right? We don't have, and the things that in there are so useless. We don't even have the shit that we need in our main kit, judge our reserve kit. Okay? So I said it to say a lot of times we need to focus on the things that are so obvious for us. Clear that shit up. Okay? Clear it up. You know you're not supposed to be in that relationship. Clear it up. You know how you and your mama go back and forth and bicker and argue. You don't like that about yourself. You don't like it about her as well. But in order for you to get to that point, you don't have to get her to understand who you are. You need to get yourself to understand who you are. And once you show the way who you are, now you're able to speak and let people know, this is who I am, this is how I show up as. Right? You're still sitting on the couch. You still there. You ain't even made the first movie. You have a lot of stuff written down, a lot of ideas in your head, but you ain't doing nothing about it. You get what I'm saying? So after that, when you get to that point, you sit there and you say, okay, well, you know what? Well, if I don't have this, then what's the point of having it? So, like I said, I feel like, so my first pointer that I did wrote down was, when you are, when you don't have a reserve kit, or when you don't have a lot in that tank to even, when you're not doing the work, when you're not being intentional about the work, you can't find your mark, right? You don't have enough in you. You don't have enough information. You haven't did enough work to get to that mark. You get what I'm saying? So that's the first one. The second one was when they spoke, like I said, I've tried to intertwine skydiving with finding your mark in life, period, right? So the second thing was like that stood out to me was when they said that the two most dangerous parts of skydiving, a lot of times we think of, actually jumping out of the airplane for it to be, what they say it's a dangerous, it being dangerous. But the two times what I've learned or what I've noticed or studied whilst I was doing this was taking off is one of the most dangerous ones. And then once you get at about a good altitude, so once you're about 1,500 feet, to take your seatbelt off. Once you're there, right? And now going back to, missing your mark in life or finding your purpose, whatever that is or may be for you, whatever that mark is you feel like is for you, I think the two most dangerous parts in finding your mark or, finding your purpose, whatever that is when you're first starting, right? Remember they said, when you're taking off, right, it's dangerous because, it's probably the speed that they're going at to get that high. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first one. So like I said, when you are in a place, when you are first starting, it is so dangerous because you have so many outside noise. You get what I'm saying? So much, what ifs and negativity and possibilities, and I don't see this or I don't see that for you, right? It is so dangerous because that can be that line or that space from you even getting on that journey to find your mark, right? So the one person or somebody that in your life that you felt like meant so much to you, but a lot of times they meant so much to you because you went for them for validation. It's so deep, right? So they don't mean a lot to you because you care about their opinions, not for validation, because this person actually have your best interest in heart at heart. And sometimes the person can have the best interest at heart, but what God has for you, the person can't see, right? So it can be such a catch-22. But like I said, when you are first starting off, that era where you are looking for other people validation can be very dangerous. You get what I'm saying? And then, like I said, now when you're at a pace, which is also dangerous too, when you're at a pace where it's like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this, right? And you can get around the wrong person, see the wrong thing, or feel like, oh, well, I got it, I'm good, I'm already up here now, so, and mess around, honey, and again, miss your mark, okay? Like I said, I think it's so important to put those things into consideration. You understand? Especially when you are talking about finding your mark. That's serious business. It's serious business, okay? It is serious business, and it takes a lot of work. And another thing I've learned too is, even, with being on a self-journey, self-development, finding my purpose, it is not necessarily a destination. It is a journey. It is an ongoing journey, okay? So the thing about that is you don't wait until you're up comfortable enough and feel like, okay, I'm good, I'll take the seatbelt off when I want to, and then you get to the point where you lose that and forget that you're on a journey. You lose that and realize that there is not necessarily a stop that you're supposed to stop at, okay? The minute you stop, that can be so dangerous. Keep going, okay? So yeah, and then they mentioned, like before them actually jumping out of the plane, right before they jump out, they spot their mark, they spot their landing mark, right? And I think, again, once you're at a place of, or on this, you now start to walk on this journey or walk with finding your mark. Once you have a good amount of information installed in you, once you've done the work to a certain level, I feel like now you get to the point where God give you like these times and moments where you can see the mark. Okay, like, okay, I see it's there, it's right there. Okay, it's there. All right, I can see it now, right? But I feel like I said, when you're first starting off, number one, you can't even see the mark because you ain't even got up in the air to your destination of where you're supposed to be. Okay, so I think, like I said, it's so important to remember, like I said, that this is serious business that you are doing. To remember before you even get into the air, to make sure that you are positioned to take off, right? And like I told y'all bear with me because my mind be going, okay? So if my mind get this right, it's gonna be a ball, okay? It's gonna be a ball, okay? If my mind get it right and my mouth speak it the way it's supposed to, it's gonna be a bop around here, okay? So like I said, when you get to a point of, knowing that, or when you are aware, right? Remember I always say that the first place is being at a place of awareness, right? Or awareness or knowing, right? So it's like, okay, I need to find my mark. You have to be to a point, like I said, where you've loosened up those extra baggage because it's time to take off, okay? You don't need to be putting nothing on your back while you're taking off. That's dangerous. You shouldn't have a book bag on your back while you're taking off, okay? That should need to be on the floor, okay? And if it's too big, it can't even be nowhere in your vicinity. Okay, come on now. So if the problem is too big, if the person that is around you brings you too much problems, or it's so much that you have to deal with, and you feel like you can't even see yourself, you feel like every time you wake up or you're around this person, it feels so heavy, you need to remove that shit off of you before you get into that air. Okay, because at that point, then what are you asking for? You trying to find your mark, or you trying to find 6 feet? Because you could do that on the floor, honey. You could do that in the same area in the room, in the group around the people that you was with, that you was around. You ain't had to go there to do that. Okay, that's just silly. All right. And then another thing is what especially for me I had to learn was, especially for me, where I feel like I know what I feel like I kind of sort of always had like this calling or this purpose or whatever. But then when you feel like you're supposed to be at this place, like, when you feel like in your mind, this is where I'm supposed to be, like I'm supposed to be here and I'm not here. I'm supposed to be here and I'm not here. You have to be so careful, because another thing with a pointer that I wrote down in the skydiving is when a jumper jump, you have to wait a certain amount of time to jump after that jumper, because what happens is you can cause a what do you call it? Basically, I'm again, this is not the word, but basically kind of like a balloon accident. You can cause like where your balloons kind of tie up and mix into each other and create a pileup and possibly create a horrible accident. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is a lot of times God allow other people to go ahead of you. Come on, He allowed other people to go ahead of you, okay, and get them clear and smooth about the way. They had to sit there. They had to probably move a rock that where you was gonna land, but they had to bring that person down first to kick that rock about the way. You get what I'm saying? Because ain't no telling. You could have wound up hitting your bum right on that rock. You know what I'm saying? Hitting your toe right on that rock, hitting something on that rock. But that person came down first and got it out the way. So when it's time for you to come down, you clear, baby. Clear skies. Clear skies. Okay? So I think, y'all, I feel like for me, y'all, it is so important for me to, when I tell y'all, this is not, I'm not at a place in my life where it's a joke. I'm not at a place in my life where, I'm just doing any old thing. I'm having any old relationships, any old conversations. You get what I'm saying? Any old people around me. I'm not at that place in my life. I feel like I'm at a very serious place in my life. I do not want to miss my mark. I can't say it enough. I don't want to miss my mark. I don't want to miss my mark. I do not want to miss my mark. Okay? And the question now is do you want to miss your mark? Do you want to miss your mark? Like, would you feel okay with yourself if you miss your mark? Would you feel okay with yourself if, you're supposed to have something deeper over your life, and it don't always have to, it's always going to, at some point we're all going to die, right? But it don't always have to resolve into that. You get what I'm saying? It could possibly be to a point where, you are working 9 to 5 all your life when you know it good and damn well you're supposed to be a chairman, or you're supposed to be serving or being a producer somewhere. Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable with that? And if you're comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with me, though, missing my mark. I'm not comfortable with that. So with that being said, I know that there's times and situations where I have to be obedient in rooms that I kind of feel like, why do I have to? Or in rooms where I feel like it ain't worth it. You get what I'm saying? Because, baby, when I've learned that, first off, listening is so important. But when I've learned that to be a great student, to be a good student, especially to be a good student when I'm learning God's word, I think it's definitely the first step into me not missing my mark. You get what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times too, I feel like I'm at a place where I'm still trying to reach that altitude, right? So I'm able to take my seatbelt off. I'm not at the place, y'all, where I'm looking down yet and I can actually see my landing mark. I'm still at the place where I'm just trying to find my altitude. So I'm able to take my seatbelt off. I don't know. I feel like right now I'm at a place where I'm in the process of, is this the right altitude? Do I take it off now? I don't want to take it off too soon. I don't want to take it off too late. Do I take it off now? But with that being said is like I've learned that, when you're finding your mark, it's a journey. Again, I said that before, it's a journey. It doesn't happen like this. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. But right now, I'm just, like I say, I'm in the process of possibly this is the time to take that seatbelt off, okay? If it is, I'm happy. I felt like God has been, listen, God has been working me. I've been to work, okay? Talk about work, 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 work. Honey, I've been working, you know. But I'm also just at a place where it's like if God feels like I have to have more, then give it to me. You know, like I'm already in the air. Ain't no turning back now. I'm already up now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just willing to do the work so I'm able to, you know, land on my landing mark. Okay, and I hope you guys are as well. I know it's not easy. I know. But I feel like you make the first decision, the first intentional decision when you realize that you are not in a place to even begin to find your mark. Okay, sometimes we have to start there. How do I even get to that place, to even fucking get to the plane, to get on up in the air? Okay, how do I get that place? You know what I'm saying? And I think, again, when you are at a place of looking and yearning for that information, it's easy to find those, you know, to find that mark, you know. So, yeah. And it's so crazy, too, because I feel like a lot of times, like, even with me finding my mark, it was things that I didn't even at first wanted to do. It wasn't like I woke up like, yeah, I'm just going to be abstinent. It didn't happen that way. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's like, again, I just got to a point of fucking being tired of myself. I got tired of being tired. Okay, tired of being tired. I got tired of showing up in rooms, and then when I leave the room, I'm asking myself, why did I even enter the room? You know what I'm saying? I got tired of, you know, seeing other people fulfill their dreams, and here I am sitting back and asking, well, why you didn't fulfill yours? I got tired of asking my fucking self why, and started to find the answers. Seriously. Ain't no point in asking why. I mean, it is a point because that's the first step of it, right? But then if I'm gonna keep asking why, then I don't want to answer. Okay? And at that point, I want to know what I want to know, what I want to know, what I want to know. Okay? Period. So that's just that on that, y'all. I hope that this was informative. I hope you guys kind of got the whole gist of this episode. Like, do you want to miss your mark? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it okay if you miss your mark? How would you feel if you miss your mark? And if you don't want to miss your mark, what are the steps that you take? What are the steps that you're taking to not miss it, to find it first? Okay. So that's that, you guys. Did you know? Are you ready for the did you know? Did you know? Did you know? This is pretty short, y'all. Pretty simple. All right. So, the did you know of the day, you guys, is some hand gestures are offensive in other countries. I mean, I kind of knew that, like, certain things that you do, like, I think, like, they say, like, in Haiti, like, you don't, you know, it's a bunch of people be saying stuff, too, so I'm not going to quote it, because I don't know, people would just say it to say it, but it's like, you know, different countries, like, you know, certain things you just can't do, period, right? So, of course, I knew that, but did you know that the devil horn hand sign, so this right here, being thrown up at rock concerts can be offensive in other countries. The European and South American countries, this hand sign implies that a man's wife has been unfaithful. What? So y'all real stitches over there, honey. Y'all don't even have to talk to let a bitch know what's going on. Y'all just moving hands and shit, and a motherfucker know, like, yeah, she had dick all in the mouth last night. Like, I'm confused about this. So that's how y'all play it. So basically, American countries, we do this. Or we do like, party like it rocks, like stuff like that. Over there, that means, like, that's how they do it too. Now, do they be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, that's really something. Like, you could cut up 2 fucking fingers and you can tell a bitch whole business out there. That's really something. I don't think I'm never moving to fucking Europe, because, baby, if that's how y'all get now, y'all just all of people business like that to the point where y'all got hand gestures to know that, oh yeah, I was sucking dick last night. That's crazy to me. Keep my business in my household, because that's crazy. That's really fucking something. You know. That's crazy. See, my thing is now, like, I would really want to go down there and just do some shit just cause. Hey, mate. Hey, mate. Like what? Like for real? Do that really, really mean that? That's really something. So they said that the meaning dates back to, or the word dates back to a meaning cuckold. Cuckold. Ah, I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it. She was holding that. But anyway, I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and try it when I get down there somewhere in Europe. I'm going to be like, hey, mate. I'm going to be real serious, too. If I don't come back, y'all already know what happened to me. Them bitches beat my ass, honey. I left me down there, honey, okay? So, if y'all planning on going to Europe, don't put them two signs up. Don't put that devil horn sign up thing, because y'all gonna be getting a bitch ass whooped for no reason. And then did somebody ever, I can see, I'm not gonna lie, I can definitely see a white person, you know, probably back in the days, like, you know, snitching on somebody's wife, you know. But now, today, like, how did that work? Like, is that still a thing nowadays? You know what I'm saying? If it's not a thing nowadays, is it still like where it's like still kind of like known for people to do this shit? And where do they do it? Like, I have this two little finger mean that I was swallowing dick last night, eating dick. Like, that's really something. Really fucking something. So yeah. There goes your dick, you know. Did you fucking know that? Because I know, ain't no way in hell. Didn't y'all know that for real? Don't lie to me. Because y'all be trying me like, how you ain't know about no owls turning their neck? Child, bitch, I knew the owls turn their neck. I just ain't know they turn their neck that motherfucking... You guys, I love you guys so much. Y'all already know what to do. Y'all already know what's about to come up. What's coming up? The word of the week. The W.O.W, okay? What do you do when you hear the W.O.W? When you hear the W.O.W, you go ahead and holler at me in the DMs, okay? Holler at me in the DMs. Why? Because it goes down in the DM. Down in the DM. Hey, no it don't, bitch. Down in the DM. I really need people. People don't really be messaging me on DM. And people that be messaging me, like the dudes, it be like, what the fuck? Like, you for real? Like, that's disrespectful. Motherfuckers that click. Like, I feel like it's disrespectful. Like, nigga, like, really? Like, you really messaged me? Like, would you, me? Like, then you know, like, you start to question yourself, like, damn, am I not attractive as I thought I was? Like, why do this nigga feel like he have a chance with me? Like, that shit really be confusing me. Like, why do you feel like you have a chance with me? Sir. Quit, I know I got big teeth. I know that. But bitch, you ain't got no teeth, sir. Fuck, that shit get on my nerves. See, look, I got mad just that quick. No. Y'all gonna come in my DM with that stupid shit. Okay? But for the word of the week, you guys, like I said, we already know what to do. When you hear the word of the week, you go ahead and you holler at me in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're the first person, not the second, not the third. And the word better be correct. Okay? Because if it's not spelled correct, then we're going to have to take the second runner up. All right? Word of the week is X mark the spot. Okay? I don't even think that's a word. I think that's like a quote of the week at this point. A word should be, or words of the week, because word is just one. Whatever. Now I'm being all exact and shit. But anyway, word of the week, you guys, is X mark the spot. X mark the spot. Not EX, but the letter X, okay? I love you guys so freaking much. I hope this pod was informative. I felt like it definitely was. I love you guys so much. You already know what to do. Don't you forget to tell a sister, cousin, brother, auntie, uncle, niece, nephew, great sis. See, this is where I always fuck up. Don't you forget to tell a sister, cousin, brother, uncle, auntie, niece, great cousin from your granddaddy's side 3 times removed, because you already on some real shit. I think the girl down the street and y'all cousins, but ain't nobody never said nothing about it, because y'all like to keep shit on the hush back in the days. But y'all might want to go ahead and do a DNA test, because I think y'all cousins. That this is the Think About It podcast with your girl, Nee.